joined TikTok this week after her long-awaited and very public breakup with Snapchat. That may not be totally true, but it could very well be technically correct. Everybody, and welcome to Technically Correct. We're Geeks Who Drink, and this is our panel show. Here's what that means. In this first round, our director will give us some questions from the Geeks Who Drink archives. We panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and then finally choose an answer for the group. At the end of 2 minutes, we'll decide on our final answer, and then we'll find out if we're right, because otherwise we would be in suspense, and that would suck. By the way, if you're watching this live, we're watching you in the chat. Not to be creepy or anything. Please hit us up with anything witty or interesting you have to say about the question, but whatever you do, please don't shout out the answers. It's cute when we're wrong, but when you do it, it looks dumb. I guess all that leaves for now is the panel introductions. Hi, I'm Nicole Holliday. How you living? Joining us tonight, we have the always lovable Lea Popielinski. And the occasionally lovable Jon Pio.
Rest in peace, Sean Locke. We'll miss your rectum.
That's why he's sometimes lovable. Then there's someone who may or may not be lovable. We're going to find out. Joining us for the first time, it's Aaron Retka.
Hello. I didn't realize I had to write anything.
Oh, falling behind on the assignments, and
I know, it's already rough.
Which reminds me, we also have a new director for the week, Derek Knight. Say hi, Derek, and then hurry up and give us a question.
Hi, everyone. Your first question on this episode of Technically Correct. Will Smith filmed the Getting Jiggy With It video in front of what casino's giant Sphinx statue?
Oh, Sphinx.
Sphinx.
Okay,
Will Smith filmed the Getting Jiggy With It video in front of what casino's giant Sphinx statue?
What did you think he said, Aaron?
I can't say. I'm sorry.
You probably can. All right. So as we all know, most casinos are Egyptian themed. So this is going to be a tough one. Am I right? Caesars, the Romans, they conquered Egypt, didn't they? No.
Well, in a way,
well, it's also it's also Vegas Egyptian. It's not Egyptian. So I'm sure that the history is a little bit flexible. So yes, in fact they did.
I'm sorry, I'm from New Jersey.
Sure.
All I know is Atlantic City. I doubt it was filmed in Atlantic City. Am I right?
I mean, you never know.
You never know. It's close to Philly, and we all know Phil Smith and Philly. They're quasi-related.
Every time someone says getting jiggy with it, my brain goes, na 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 na. So I just can't get past that to answer the question.
I can honestly say I have never been jiggy my entire life.
I disagree with that. I would say you're operating at about an 8% jiggy.
8% jiggy?
Yeah, which is better than 0% jiggy. But I mean, nothing to be ashamed of.
Just a philosophical question.
Yeah, like...
Do the river dance dancers get jiggy?
Oh God!
I feel like if you're dancing, you get an automatic 5%.
Yeah, more than 8%. Is zero even scientifically or physically possible?
That's absolutely it is.
Who has zero jiggy, Aaron?
Josh Hawley.
Mitch McConnell. Actually, almost all Republican members of the Senate. All right. Do we know an Egyptian themed casino?
I guess.
What was the? Yeah.
Is that still around? Because I can't keep track of when Las Vegas hotels disappear because they seem to go up and down.
Yeah.
It must be Luxor. I don't think there's any other ones that would really fit, right?
It's the one from which Marvel ganked all of their sky beams. I know that much about him.
This seems like a plausible answer.
All right, your 2 minutes is up. Do you have answers?
Anybody object to Luxor?
No, I think Luxor is the way to go.
Derek, that's our final answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you will be happy to know that your answer is Luxor, Las Vegas. So if you wrote down Luxor, Las Vegas, not Luxor, Atlantic City, or Luxor, Reno, or Luxor, Pahrump, you were correct.
Luxor, Macau.
Luxor.
Luxor
Right.
South Bend is really
So many Luxors, so little time. So that's a good start.
All right.
Ready for question number 2?
Yeah, let's see if we can keep it rolling.
All right, question number 2. This episode of Technically Correct. Launched in 1797, the USS Constitution is currently docked in what historic U.S. city?
The plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. There was a time where there was airports in 1797, but that time has passed.
Yes,
right?
yeah, they're storming the airports. Well, let's work backwards here. We know for a fact that the Constitution was written in
Yes, correct.
Gainesville, Florida.
We could cut off a huge section of at least the world. It's probably America. Let's go with that.
Oh, okay.
Well, it does say
that's
U.S.
a
city.
Good first step.
They gave us that part.
Yeah,
It
and
would
it
be
has
weird
to
if it
be,
wasn't.
and it has to be a place with water. So
With water.
Arizona is right out. Utah is out. I don't think it's in the Salt Lake. So we're thinking coast.
We
East
can
coast,
guess the
probably,
East Coast.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm going to hand this off to you folks. I've done my part.
Well, it must be on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I would guess that.
Mhm.
So like colonial cities, we've got Boston, we've got, Philadelphia's on a river, we've got,
Sure.
Washington. I don't know the answer to this one.
It's
I
probably.
would like to grab some low-hanging fruit with John, Yum.
My what? What are you doing?
I don't know what that's highly inappropriate.
Now I don't think it's Philadelphia. From my
No.
experience being back there, because
No.
the battleship New Jersey is right outside of Philadelphia. Who I was told by a docent on board that its cannons could hit Manhattan. I don't know what that docent is planning.
We should check on that.
Just keep
docent.
it in mind. Just keep it in mind.
So it's definitely not Philadelphia, New York, or DC. Those are cities
Okay.
that I am familiar with.
It's the other one then. I think we
So-
probably can
Well-
arrive at that.
I feel like Boston is plausible.
Yeah, I'm feeling Boston, which I don't like doing.
Well, you have run out of time
Boston likes
discussing
to
where you
feel
put
you.
boats. So do you all have consensus?
It's Boston, Derek.
Boston. Well, let's find out if you're actually or technically. It is Boston. Oh my God, you guys got to the right answer in the most roundabout way possible. You're an amazing gang of 4.
Thank you.
Excellent work.
Every question has more pressure now. I feel anxious.
I don't want to disappoint Quiz Daddy.
Yeah. He's much more demanding than our old quiz daddy. This one.
Yeah. I think he is.
This is my first day as Quiz Daddy. So if I'm too overbearing, go pound sand. Are you ready for question 3?
You gotta lay down the law on your first day so those kids respect you. Give us our next question.
All right. Let's find out what that actually is. On SpongeBob SquarePants, what rival of the Krusty Krab is named for a pail that stores fish guts?
I mean, technically, every kind of pail can store fish guts. Let's parse that. I mean,
It's true.
It's too bad that Naim isn't here because we needed a child panelist.
That would totally be right in, yeah.
Child panels.
Because I think many of us are too old to have been kids for this, but too young to have kids for that age. I don't know.
I
yeah.
mean, I think
Yeah.
Aaron might be on board with this, right? I imagine there's
My
more
kids like SpongeBob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
Which is great because, it brings some much needed absurdity into my home.
So
Right.
what wealth of information have your kids bestowed on you about?
No, mostly my my son is currently in a phase where he runs around and does things that Batman doesn't actually do as Batman. So he hits me with a sword for instance, or flies. And we have a long running argument about whether Batman flies or not. And Batman does not canonically fly. Come on. So 3-year-olds are an idiot, and that is my final answer to this question.
Now, the only thing I got for this question, it's not going to help, but all I know is that Clancy Brown voices Krusty the Krab. And he's an amazing actor there. So, like, the voice of Krusty the Krab is someone who was in Marvel, who is in Dexter, who is in Highlander. Am I right? Carnival. This doesn't help us at all, but Clancy Brown, if you're watching, I really appreciate you and I like you. Hit me up, yo.
This has been Clancy Brown fan hour. Is it a bucket?
Is it slop bucket? Oh, that's like in my head as being a thing.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with bucket alliteration, so I don't know, bass bucket. But, that
Chum
was
bucket.
only what I got.
Chum bucket, right?
Is the chum bucket.
Oh, is that it?
I don't want to interrupt. I want to be very kind, and I want to approach this with a very gentle and loving demeanor. But y'all MFers are out of time. So do you have consensus?
It
Are
is
we okay with chum bucket?
It is the chum bucket, yes.
All right, we're gonna go with that.
If I had a drum roll, it's a chum bucket. What?
Nobody actually knew that.
I
they?
mean, I did.
Yeah, I think Aaron knew that. No, that was a great team effort because Aaron knew it, but Lea talked enough that I had a guess that seemed solid. Yeah.
You got
Good job,
anyway.
everyone.
Aaron,
Well
you
done,
psyched
team.
us out. This isn't technically incorrect yet.
But we got to fill the time, guys.
All right. Maybe you do understand the game. Derek, what's our next question?
Your next question at this stage of the game is the first Percy Jackson book had our hero chasing the punk who stole what weapon from Zeus?
Well, Zeus canonically uses a weapon throughout all of mythology, the AR-15. So clearly, Percy Jackson stole.
Canonically, Zeus's weapon is the dick he can't keep in his pants. That's what Zeus's weapon is.
That's pretty much all of the mythological pantheon has problems
This
with that.
YouTube contains explicit language.
So that was Pantheon, because
Hey-o.
Hey.
Bam! Wow.
I don't know anything about Zeus or Percy Jackson. I assume it's a film because it said
It's at least one film. It's a whole YA series.
it's a book
Yeah.
series.
It's a
mostly.
book series. I believe Percy Jackson is a child of Poseidon. So I believe Zeus would be his uncle, but all those gods, they don't really like each other, right? So I don't know why you would care, but you definitely have to be a punk to steal from the god of gods here, right?
Or you well, I mean, are you using punk in a derogatory or complimentary sense?
Oh,
Because I
derogatory.
mean, that takes a little bit of chutzpah.
Come on,
you know?
Zeus slew the Titans. It saved us all.
Well, and in a lot of mythology, Zeus is kind of a jerk, right? So,
Well, yeah.
so is the punk who stole? I think that doesn't sound necessarily negative. I think it's more admiring. It's an admirable punk. The
Can
admirable punk.
anybody name a weapon of Zeus?
I would go with lightning.
Yeah, the name of the first book is The Lightning Thief.
Well, there you
There you
go.
go. We figured it out.
So that
Also, I
could
don't
be
feel
it.
like lightning is a weapon, but
Oh.
all right.
I will prove that to you, Nicole, if you want.
Well, guess what
I mean,
time it is?
Anything's a weapon if you try.
It's time that you're out of time. Have you
All right.
reached consensus?
Pio, you seem certain. Give the man your answer.
If it's not an assault rifle, it's probably lightning.
I was
Let's-
going to go with
let's-
Percy Jackson and the bitchin' butterfly.
It's
knife,
thunderbolts
but-
and lightning.
Oh.
Very,
Very
very. You did well.
frightening.
Very, very frightening.
Whew. That was stressful. I didn't know any of the words in that question. But fortunately, I have a moment to recover because it's time for our first ad break. See you back here in a few. Okay, we're back with the rest of our technically correct round. Remember to try and be as funny as us in the chat, but don't shout out the answers, okay? Derek, what's our next question?
Your next question in this particular round is, in one Curious George book, he accidentally got loaded on what sweet-smelling, old-timey anesthetic?
Oh my God, really?
Aaron, I feel like you're not doing parenting right if you didn't find the drug versions of
So this
Curious
is Curious George Gets Stoned. We didn't read that one when I was a kid.
That's the bonus content.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys. I know I'm not a panelist, but every Curious George book I read when I was a kid, he got loaded on something.
Well,
like,
no,
he's got a
Curious
problem.
Curious George's MO, okay, is that he just fucks stuff up. Curious George gets in there and is an agent of chaos. He is the Joker of children's lit. He just disassembles everything. It's sort of wonderful in this like catastrophic way, but I can absolutely see him doing this. 100%.
Well, he's a monkey, so like he's not supposed to have decorum.
But he has regret, which is the real thing.
It's evolution. He's got regret.
Not decorum.
I mean, the question is like an old-timey anesthetic that smells sweet. Let me check.
That was the creepiest thing that's happened on Technically Correct lately.
I guess a little.
That's a bit you've been working on, my friend.
A little sweet. I thought about it as you ranted about how Curious George is chaotic neutral.
Yeah. So as far as anesthetics go, how do people know that they're sweet smelling? with being able to like.
This makes me feel like maybe it's a anesthetic that you inhale, so like ether.
Okay.
Like, see, I would also have thought ether, because I swear I've seen T-shirts of Curious George unconscious with a bottle of ether next to it, but I assumed it was a joke.
What?
But
it might be real.
But maybe it's real.
Well, guess what? Regardless, y'all have run out of time. So if you have a consensus on what Curious George's substance abuse number one is, it's a good time to share it.
Aaron, what do you think?
I believe that is ether. Yes.
All right, let's go with it.
It is ether. Oh my God.
So, and our very helpful producer told us in the chat, this is a quote from an article, I guess. Thanks to an ice cold shower under the watchful eyes of a fast thinking nurse and his guardian, the man with the yellow hat, George is able to return from the brink of consciousness and wrap up his adventure in style.
Did anyone?
That is the synopsis of a Raymond Chandler story.
That was Requiem for a Dream, wasn't it?
Everybody used to do drugs. That's what I learned from these old-timey stories.
Basically, Curious George is Dennis Hopper from Blue Velvet.
Okay, let's get away off of the ether. Derek, what's our next question?
Your next question in this set of questions: what flowery term describes a wine's scents, aromas, and other smelleries?
Oh, I wish it was smelleries. I like that word.
I like that word. I am totally going to adopt that word now.
Smelleries?
Like,
yeah. That's a nice one.
Smelleries.
No, a smellery should be a location, right? Like, oh, I'm going to the smellery to pick up some
The ether.
to pick up some ether. That would be far classier than how I buy my ether now. You're right.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like I am equipped to handle this because I went through a 2-year phase where I was an asshole. So I'm well versed in everything wine.
So how far into that are you now?
Oh, are you on year 2 or what's up?
Right across the plate, Lea.
Nice. He's past his asshole phase. Now he's just a piece of shit, right?
Makes you drink. A wonderful place to work with supportive colleagues.
Yeah. So, like, wine is one of those things, like, if you are in the culinary world or, like, the liquor world, everybody goes through a phase where they are wine obsessed for a little while. It's okay. It's a culinary equivalent of reading Ayn Rand in college, where you're just gonna be a dick for 6 months.
So you mean white dudes are especially prone to it?
Oh yes, also that.
Paul
It's a
Ryan
specific
loves
kind of
wine.
I used to live with a sommelier, so I feel like I'm also equipped to answer this
Okay.
question.
My brother is a sommelier, so yeah.
Ooh.
And
I
my
guess-
my instinct there, like my assholery bubbling up from within, is making me ask, what level? What levels are they?
certified,
Well, but one.
studying
two,
for level
three.
3. Chill the fuck out.
Okay, all right, okay. Respect.
I'm the only one that doesn't have anything to do with wine, so you assholes can figure it out.
Well, you assholes are out of time. So
Sommelier adjacent people, are we going with bouquet?
It's bouquet,
I think we are going with bouquet.
yes, it
All
is.
right, it's
Well,
bouquet.
coincidentally, your answer is bouquet. So
Bouquet.
congratulations.
We did it, guys.
All
We're
right.
6 for 6.
All of your insufferable phases were not for nothing.
Max Miller in the chat is the only one that I'm linking up with because I thought it was originally the question was about celery, and I was like, what about celery and wine? No, celery is a garbage vegetable.
Well, I would
Also
take
not
my-
known for its smell.
I would take my peanut butter to the smellery, though. What better place to eat it?
Yeah,
The smellery.
ether and peanut butter, it's delicious.
This is taking a turn. Derek, can we have another question?
Yeah, please.
You may. Oh, thank you for saying please. That was so nice of you. Let's
Please,
see.
sir, may I have another?
The first known literary use of the word pumpkin was in what fairy tale?
I thought Billy Corgan invented that word.
Yeah.
My childhood is shattered. Well, like what fairy tales involve pumpkins? There's probably a few, right? Because there's been some folks have used pumpkins to live in, and it's been used as horse-drawn carriages, and they've been thrown as explosive devices, right? These are all valid pumpkin uses.
Very
For-
versatile
Nice little
squash.
homes for
For
rats.
heads.
Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a head.
Yeah.
Now, is that a fairy tale? I guess so.
No, it's not. That is not a fairy tale.
It
However,
does precede the Brothers Grimm, though.
really?
Yeah, Washington Irving was
Before
from,
Brother-
I
oh,
think
no.
the early 19th century. No, earlier than that even, wasn't it? And then the Grimm brothers were 19th century.
Okay.
Yeah. Washington
Right,
Irving
cool.
is an old ass writer. So
Ooh, in the chat, Max Miller says Pilgrim's Promise. I think he means Pilgrim's Progress because of the Thanksgiving. Could be.
So,
So yeah, what exactly do we count as a fairy tale?
or as a pumpkin, huh? Oh.
Oh,
That's a good point.
what
They're
was it before it was a pumpkin? Probably just a plain ordinary squash, right?
a gourd.
A gourd.
Decorative gourd?
Which just
Ooh,
sounds like
guys.
something you call someone. You're a gourd.
It's almost decorative gourd season.
Oh,
Well, what if it were?
I
What if
can't
it?
wait. Nicole. I can't
What if
wait.
it were gourd spice season? I don't think that would have quite the marketing.
Yeah, pardon my language, Nicole, but I believe it is motherfucking gourd season,
Yeah.
right?
Motherfucking gourd.
I
Okay,
mean,
wait, but we need a
least-
fairy tale.
Yeah, I mean Cinderella.
I vote Cinderella
Yeah,
too.
Cinderella.
because it was they turned the pumpkin into the stagecoach or the coach, right?
It was pretty prominent in Cinderella.
Mm, oh.
All right. Well,
Bloop,
I'm glad
bloop,
that we're ready
bloop,
for decorative
bloop.
gourd season.
You're out of time. And I don't want to interrupt this stimulating discussion about gourds, but do you have consensus?
We're gonna go with Cinderella.
Cinderella. Well, it's Cinderella. Yay!
Oh,
See, look how smart you
wow.
are.
Oh my gourd.
Oh my god, well done.
We're knocking it out of the park.
I actually doubted this because it was like, I mean, wasn't what we consider the pumpkin, is that a new world?
It's a new world thing, yeah.
word? So like, does that mean the fairy
we-
tale was written after?
And we know that America is not based on any fairy tales whatsoever.
None.
Well, they could have had the story and then they changed it to pumpkin after the pumpkin was discovered by
What would it
Europeans.
have been?
After Europeans discovered what the Native
What the
Americans already
pumpkin
knew
was.
about.
After the pumpkin
Yes.
craze of the late 17th century.
So it would have been a coach made out of what?
Gourd.
Parsnip.
A turnip?
Parsnip or a turnip?
Zucchini.
Parsnip, yeah.
I actually think there's
Um,
some truth to that like in Europe it was they used turnips
For the
or
original
parsnips for, like,
jack-o'-lanterns.
that.
Yeah.
They're
Jack-o'-lantern.
terrifying. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't carve like a whole face into a. No, it's not gonna work.
Oh yes,
You can. It's just really
can.
scary.
I got one right over here. Hold on.
I'm not,
I'll
I'm
show
not
it to you
sure
later.
Parsnips to yourself.
Just squeezing a tiny little candle in. That's the trouble.
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah.
Before Pio busts out his gourds,
Yes,
hit us with another question.
I will. Also, Cinderella's original coach was made from the skull of one of her stepsisters. But your next question, what Suicide Squad actor wore opaque shades to blind himself while making Blade Runner 2049?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
National treasure,
You
Aaron.
son of a bitch.
This question
feel
was specifically selected to
Yes.
frustrate
To
Aaron.
infuriate me.
But let's unpack this trauma, Aaron.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't think I knew it, but there's only
Now
one
you
person
do.
who makes Aaron this upset. And now I know it.
Mhm.
Now, but which Suicide Squad are we talking about? The one that just came out or the first one?
Well, I know the answer to the question. So I'm going to let you guys explore this and I will weigh in with rage when appropriate.
Leah, what is Retka's problem with this person?
I have no idea, to be totally honest. This person just infuriates him.
Why
and
does Aaron hate Margot Robbie
Look
so
at him.
much?
Just look at him.
That is, she's a
I don't know. You know,
darling.
I reserve my rage for people who actually do harm to the world.
Just
Personally,
FYI, I'm giving you extra time on
No,
this question so
a
that you
matter
can
of taste.
really unpack some rage.
This person objectively makes the world worse.
Margot Robbie?
I don't know if you.
I don't get it.
Not Margot Robbie, but but I think there are people who make the world much more objectively worse than a random, maybe kind of douchey seeming actor. I don't know.
Yeah, Aaron, we live in a society. So
Okay,
there's other
okay.
people
So
that
if you want to know, okay. So in like June of 2020, this dude had been absent from Instagram. And
Who's
social-
the dude? Who's the
Okay,
For a
we're
while.
being given permission to set. Do
Okay,
you want to? Do you want
can
to?
we-
Do you want to?
I can't say his name.
It's Jared Leto.
Oh!
he played in Suicide Squad. He plays the Joker,
Yes.
and he plays someone I guess who's blind in the Blade Runner movie.
Yes. And he was so edgy as the Joker that he sent rats and used condoms to his co-stars.
Yeah, he really got into the role,
Whoa, that's really
just like
rough.
Cesar
Yeah.
Romero did in the Adam West Batman.
Yeah, so
Same
into the role
thing.
that he wouldn't shave off his mustache to play the Joker. But okay, so going back to my very important story. In June of 2020, Jared Leto showed back up on social media and was like, guys, I don't understand what the deal is. I've been in a meditation camp for the last several months. What's all this coronavirus everyone's talking about? And there is no way he is that awful.
So I gave you an extra minute just to see if Aaron would have a heart attack or an aneurysm. And since he's still with us, I guess we need consensus.
It sounds like they are. I'm persuaded that it's
We
Jared
should make
Leto.
Aaron, please. Could you give the answer?
The answer, Derek,
Yes.
is Jared Leto.
National treasure Jared Leto is the answer to this question. And we know that Aaron, you can't see it, but behind that door, behind Aaron's head, there's a shrine to Jared Leto.
I have my carved parsnip that looks just like Jared Leto. I'll show you during the break.
I think
You
we
got it.
need a moment.
Equally deserving of the Oscar as
We need a moment to let Aaron take a shower and wash the fact that he had to say Jared Leto's name off of him. So, fortunately, that does it for our first round. After this break, though, you'll find out what happens when we stop being polite and start getting fake. No, not Bizarro Real World. Technically incorrect. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically to our second round, Technically Incorrect. First, though, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drink pub quizzes in bars across this great land just about every night, and get a quick hit of trivia on YouTube every weekday around lunchtime. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you go so you don't miss anything. And also, we have a whole quiz on Twitch every Monday night, and you can even book us, yes, us, to do a private quiz virtually or in person. For details on that stuff, bookmark geekswhodrink.com and follow us on all the social medias. Now for Technically Incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question, but there's no more teamwork. Everyone is out for themselves. That means we'll be actively trying to psych each other out, and you should be too. Put your most plausible wrong answers in the chat, and we'll throw them in the mix. At the end of our time, we'll all write down our answers and show them to see who's right, by which I mean we panelists will do that. You can be wrong in the comfort of your own home, viewers. Derek, start us off.
Let's see. Your first question for Technically Incorrect. Girl Scouts can choose to display merit badges on a tunic, a vest, or what snazzy accessory?
Butterfly knife. Yep.
Didn't we have a Girl Scouts question?
We
recently?
did. And
It was
Lea
about the-
is a Girl Scout expert
I
for some
I don't
reason.
think I'm so much an expert. All I knew was the color of Daisy uniforms. That's all I got.
Pretty sure Lea is wearing her whatever the Eagle Scout version of the uniform is right now. That looks like whatever
This, or
whatever
you
Girl
mean
Scout
under this?
yeah, Girl Scout Prime is some green tart.
Well, they have some of the Girl Scout ranks have really snazzy little hats. Like I think it's juniors have the cute little berets, so that would be an adorable place to display your merit badges. If I had a beret, I would just display every badge I've ever deserved.
Are they also called merit badges in Girl Scouts as well? Do we know that?
They are badges. I'm not, and
thought
I
merit
don't
badges were
remember
for-
if we specifically said merit badges. I was only a brownie. I didn't get very far.
Aaron is trying to pick. Is this a trick question? How much of a trick question?
Exactly.
Is this
Like I don't want to be made a fool of. when it
Yeah,
comes to Girl Scouts.
I personally, Derek, do not like this question because you're like, hey, everyone, let's think about the type of clothes Girl Scouts wear on the internet. I don't want to do that.
I'm gonna go on record and say I didn't write it. I am
You
merely
chose
the
it,
messenger.
Daddy.
I am your quiz daddy, and you will do what I say.
I don't like it. I do not like it.
Well, I guess I'm licensed to guess and not sound creepy. I wasn't allowed to be a Girl Scout as we established last time, but
Right.
I feel like places where you put things that are you want to show off that could be snazzy is maybe a belt. Maybe they have snazzy belts.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Made even snazzier by your brand new, technical, you can do computer science now badge. I don't know what they
Oh,
call
yeah.
that one, but I know it exists.
Well, the
Computer
time
science
for
badge.
deliberation and subterfuge has expired. So let's see what you came up with. We've got jacket and 3 sashes. And you know what? The answer is sash. It's
I
a
feel
very
like that's
snazzy
sexist.
sash.
I
Sashes
thought it
are
could
for
have been
beauty
beret.
queen.
I really do think it could
Yeah.
have been beret. That was very tricky.
But there's a very limited real estate on a beret.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I feel
maybe
like
you get multiple berets.
Not
Switch
if you
them
have a
out.
10-gallon beret, Aaron.
I object to this
I
because
want
feel
to
like
see a 10-gallon beret. I really do. I'm sorry, Nicole.
it's okay. Girl Scouts need to be able to like climb trees and like move and stuff. And like if you're wearing a sash, you ain't climbing no trees.
Yeah.
That's
I mean-
not a practical accessory for a scout.
Well, unless it's like a baldric that you could put ammunition or throwing knives on,
But
because
it's like
Girl Scouts
is-
are a paramilitary organization. I brought this up last time. They need to be mobilized. That's their purpose.
It
Well,
is a
it's
tightly tailored sash, so it's as trim as a vest, really. So
Oh,
it's not,
okay.
flowing in the wind vest sash
It's
thing.
not a beauty pageant sash.
No.
and
It's not
also
like Incredibles
dre-
cape level dangerous.
Almost.
Well, I'm off to a rollicking start being wrong. Derek, please give us a question that I know the answer to.
I can guarantee nothing, but I can tell you that your next question, Ludacris has a restaurant called Chicken and Beer at the airport in what home city?
Oh, I know about Ludacris.
I
Go
don't.
on.
Tell us
All-
the
No,
secrets.
I'm just
All
gonna
the
keep it to
details, my
myself for
dear.
a while. Jon Pio, what do you think?
Well, I want to know exactly how well you know Ludacris. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and how do you know Ludacris?
And
so
how do
well?
you know Ludacris?
So my
Come on.
mom met him in a mall once.
Okay.
That's
And
on fact.
what mall was that?
Yeah, and
Sounds
what
like a
city?
good start.
What city? What city was that mall in?
So chicken and waffles narrows it down for you, right? It has to be in the South.
Chicken and beer.
Chicken and beer.
Oh
But,
shit.
You know,
You
Yeah.
just
beer is
gave that
pretty
away,
universal.
Beer
Nicole.
doesn't make sense to me.
She didn't mean Ludacris. This is
I would never lie about my mom. And it's Southern. It's Southern, okay? So it's gotta be Houston.
you need to leave me on my own because I'm just going through all of the Ludacris lyrics of the songs of his in my head, and I'm trying to
I don't
figure
know
out
if
where his
Move
home
Bitch
was.
is gonna get you very far.
I'm halfway through it. I'm thinking about it. my guess here, if you want to know, is I believe he's from Atlanta. That's what I'm going for. And if I want to get chicken and beer in Atlanta, I know where I'm going to go. I'm going to hang out with Ludacris. We're going to talk about Nicole, him and I.
Yeah.
I didn't meet him.
Yeah, if I'm going to hang out with Ludacris, I'm going to an airport. That's exactly where I'm going.
So your mom knows Ludacris.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's a
Ludacris is famously from Biloxi, Mississippi. I mean, he is the town's claim to fame.
That is a hard word to rap with.
Naim says that Luda is in Too Fast, Too Furious, which is in Miami.
He's in all of them, isn't he? Or most of them, right?
Well, as you know, people are only allowed to make movies in the town where they're from. That's a law. But you are also out of time. So please hold up your answers to this very stimulating question. We have Atlanta, we have the ATL, we have Atlanta, and we have Nashville, famous for its hot chicken. Is Lea smarter than the rest of you? The answer is no. It is Atlanta. Atlanta, the Colorado Springs of the South.
Atlanta is one of the things, meant several things that I wrote down and erased, but yeah. But then it got mentioned and I was like, well, he's probably bluffing. He wasn't.
Okay, important facts that you need to know for this to make sense. Yes, my mother did meet him in the mall, in the Lenox Mall in Atlanta. My mother has lived in Atlanta for a long time.
We almost tricked her out of it.
The other thing is that if the question is, where does a famous Black person have a thing? 70% chance it's Atlanta. You can't walk through the Atlanta airport without seeing a rapper. It's like illegal. So that was a good guess.
I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, and Naim also says he was featured on the song "Welcome to Atlanta" by Jermaine Dupri, also from Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play.
And Ludacris is on the Atlanta Welcoming Committee and Tourism Board. Clearly,
so I wouldn't be surprised.
You can only be on that if you're from that place. So,
yeah.
So many hints. Lea, what were you thinking?
She was thinking hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
I don't really think about hot chicken all that much.
You should.
Maybe I was thinking about the beer.
Yeah. Derek.
Yes.
We got to move on from Luda, unfortunately.
Yes. Well, actually, did you know that if you visit any tourist welcome center in Atlanta, you get a free Ludacris mixtape and a peach? Anyway, let's find out your next question. Home to a famously gorgeous swimming hole, Havasu Falls is part of what natural wonder?
I can't get past the phrase famously gorgeous swimming hole. I'm sorry. It's too difficult for me.
Is it a pun? Is it gorgeous?
You guys,
Ithaca is gorgeous, as everyone knows. If you drive through there and see like 20,000 bumper stickers that tell you so.
Mm-hmm. I did technically correct from Ithaca from near Ithaca about 2 weeks ago, and I did consider buying an Ithaca is gorgeous shirt, but I did not.
But is it gorgeous? I don't. Everyone says, but is it? Is it?
There are many gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Okay.
It's really made of gorgeous.
I mean, Lake Havasu is Lake Havasu's in Florida, isn't it? So there's no wonders of Florida,
you guys,
right? I mean,
you guys. Okay.
People.
I'm sorry. As a native Minnesotan, I have to correct you. Like, Havasu is a lake in Minnesota.
Oh.
It is obviously part of the falls that go through between Minneapolis and St. Paul on the Mississippi River. It's the Mississippi River.
Oh my God. I don't know whether or not to believe him.
And I know we're supposed to bluff in this, but it's just like you guys are so wrong that I can't let it go by. So.
Well, you know that Florida does have the natural wonder of the Everglades, but I'm not so sure they have any, very big waterfalls. I think the, swamp falls are like that.
It's the Everglades are historically flat.
Yeah.
So
they haven't declared a Florida man a natural wonder yet.
They should. Area man.
Working on it.
Well,
I mean, Florida, it is impressive. He does so many things.
The Florida Falls actually work from like the coast inland as the sea level rises.
Yeah, Florida man has done many wondrous, terrible things.
As stimulating as your misdirection is, you are out of time. So if you would please display your answers at your earliest convenience. See, we've got Grand Canyon, George Canyon, and Grand Canyon. Let's see who is correct and who is a dingus. Grand Canyon is correct. Only Pio with his George Canyon was wrong.
I thought that Aaron.
I just abbreviated it. That's fine. I didn't want to write Grand. It's not George Canyon. It's George Canyon. This is
Congratulations. You did yourself.
Lake Havasu is the place where there are just way too many boater deaths during spring break. Like just horrible Arizonans falling overboard. Yeah.
They're the West's answer to Florida, man. Arizona.
Yep. Arizona is West Florida. That is.
Yeah,
science.
this was one thing that I think really came to light in The Good Place, right? She was like, I'm an Arizona dirtbag.
Yeah.
Similarities were made plain.
Yep.
Derek, what's our next question?
Your next question. The Cult of Greed was a famous 1991 Time cover story exposing what?
Greed.
See, if Naim were here, we could be like, haha, that was before you were born.
Naim is in the chat,
anybody here.
Oh, he's in the chat though. We can make fun of him in the chat.
Don't make fun of him for us dying after him, probably.
It's worse because I was born at that time, but I don't remember. The first thing I remember is the OJ trial.
I'm really sorry. Is that really your first memory?
It's the first thing
your first
outside
current
of my
event memory?
family. Yeah, it's the first current event.
So this is about, if it's probably exposing cults of some sort. So what cults do we have? We have, as mentioned originally, the Indianapolis cults, but we also have Heaven's Gate, right? The Branch Davidians. These are all cults that, obviously a cult is about greed of some point or another. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Branch Davidians because Heaven's Gate was later, and that was on the West Coast. So Branch Davidians, I think, is what this one exposed. Wait, am I the only one talking about cults all of a sudden?
No. I mean, you guys need to look at the timing here. And 1991 is when all the Whitewater stuff broke. This is the big Time cover story that exposed the Clintons.
But as a cult, or are they just being? It's just being
100% a cult in
flowery language.
Arkansas. Yeah, I mean, it was a cult. I mean,
but then they still got elected.
You can meet me on my InfoWars show, and I will tell you more about that.
Buy some multivitamins.
We have the finest in dick pills.
We gotta get one of these podcast sponsors to. Every week we're like, where are they? Where's our sponsor?
Well, Aaron's PP pills aside, you have come to the end of the 2-minute timer, and it will be time now to display either your shocking intelligence or shocking ignorance.
I don't know.
So we've got just capitalism in general. We've got Scientology. We've got Wall Street. And Nicole, hold it over so I can see it. Keep going. Wall Street. Okay, well, one of you is right. And that is Scientology. The rest of you are so wrong, so painfully wrong. Scientology.
What was it?
Really?
That makes sense now.
I'm gonna go get on my couch and jump up and down and be like, yay!
Because you are winning.
Well, you redeemed yourself for Canyon.
Folks, I have this ether. I'm winning no matter what.
We have just a few more questions to answer, but first it's time for a commercial yet again. Stay tuned after this break for the rest of Technically Incorrect. See you then. Welcome back to Technically Incorrect, the game where everyone tries to be right after everyone tries to be wrong, and then sometimes ends up right again. Remember, you should also try to psych us out in the chat. We're kind of gullible. Derek, make with the questions.
Make with the questions, you. Mariah Carey uttered the infamous diss, "I don't know her," about what nemesis?
Ooh. Mariah trivia.
Hera, right? This is still a Greek mythology question, right? There's a giant rivalry between Mariah Carey and the Queen of the Gods, Hera.
No. This goes back to the biblical era, and she was just being catty about Jesus. This is like
I think you guys are confusing Mariah Carey and maybe another Mariah.
All I know is that the first time I heard Mariah Carey, I totally thought she was Whitney Houston. That was in like 1990, might have been 1990. I'm not sure. So, but I don't know how she would have. I don't think that the diss works if it's if it's Whitney Houston, because it just makes her sound stupid. So it would probably have to be someone who came after Mariah Carey.
Good reasoning.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Also,
Hey,
I don't know.
Good job, Leah, saying an answer. Here's something that's not an answer. Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Or is it?
Is actually a really good diss. Because it's like you're so far below my level of consciousness that I can't even be bothered.
I don't know. I remember Seinfeld did the same thing once about someone. They like wanted a hug or they wanted to say hi, and they're like, "I don't know who you are." I don't remember who the other person was though. So
are you saying Mariah Carey ripped off
it was
Seinfeld?
Kesha. I remember that story. It was Kesha
with
who
Seinfeld
ran into him on like a rope line, and he genuinely did not know who she was.
It would be a double punch if the Mariah Carey was also talking about Kesha.
And hold
I've
on,
been rejected by Mariah Carey and Jerry Seinfeld.
It went a little bit like this. What's the deal with?
It's a perfect,
With Mariah Carey.
Save me! Jump in, save me, please.
perfect impression.
I don't know what the deal is with this lady. Anyway, you're out of time.
God, it's so much better. Oh, thank you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, show us your answers. That's what you're here for. We've got J Lo. We've got Christina Aguilera. We have Bianca, and we have Lito. Well, let's find out.
Say her name like that.
Well, she didn't include the accent. How am I supposed to know? It's Jennifer Lopez, so J Lo is correct.
I need
Nice
the
job.
context of this.
Yeah. Somebody asked
please.
Mariah Carey, because this was at the start of J-Lo's singing career. I think it was early aughts. And somebody asked Mariah Carey what they thought of her. And she made this face. It's a good gif if you ever need a dismissive gif. But she was just like, I don't know her. Like, because she was not about to talk about J-Lo. Also, like, let's be honest. J-Lo is not at all as talented as a singer as Mariah Carey. But she was fucking awesome in Hustlers. So everybody's got their something. So I'm saying.
I liked her in The Cell. Did anyone see that? Am I just the
Oh,
only person?
I love The Cell. It's a beautiful movie. It's like has inexplicable J-Lo underwear scenes for no reason, but it's a beautiful movie visually.
You know what else she was good in? Enough. I don't think enough people saw Enough, but basically she has an abusive husband and then she becomes a goddamn ninja and beats the shit out of him. It's very satisfying.
And now she and Affleck are back together and we can finally relive the days of the early aughties, which is what I've been waiting for.
It's just another reboot.
Yep. I'm just waiting for like the 60 pounds that I've gained since then to come off.
So what's their couple name? Bennifer Afpez or
I thought it was
Lowfleck?
It was Benlo, wasn't it? Or did I just make that up?
No.
Is that a
Oh,
hobbit?
is it?
Is that a hobbit?
Just Bennifer.
If it's not, it should be.
Yeah. 2.0. Derek, what's our next question?
Your next question, you goddamn ninjas, is it makes up limestone caves and lima beans are a good source of it. Name that element.
Plutonium. That's it, clearly. I mean, if you know anything about World War II. It was plutonium that created the bomb.
How many gigawatts?
How many gigawatts?
Yeah.
8
How many jiggy watts?
Yeah. It's the only way I'm getting over 8% jiggy is if I am splitting some plutonium atoms that I took out of lima beans. Yes.
Well, I have here my organic chemistry textbook.
Is this cheating?
Taking a quick
Might be
perusal.
cheating.
No. I'm just showing you that I'm smart. And the answer is obviously carbon.
Yeah.
Is
That
it
book
carbon
has a
just
real-
Aaron is
everything
bringing
besides
mad
things on Earth,
dad energy
so,
to
yeah.
this show.
that book looks real well used, Aaron, too. Good job.
No, it was thumbed. I got through 2 courses. Kind of.
I feel like carbon is what we're made of. I got
Partially.
through 1 chemistry course, and it was only a quarter.
I mean,
so-
wait, hold on.
Is this like a stoned like freshman conversation we're having right
Yeah.
now?
Nicole,
can't
if
be
you would
with the
say
rocks.
that the human body is made of 70% or 70 or to 90% what? What's the answer to that question?
Water.
And how many carbon atoms are in water?
None. But don't they
So-
call us carbon-based life forms?
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Okay,
On
see?
Star Trek.
So I usually try to come up with an answer for element questions by going through Tom Lehrer's Element song in my head,
Ooh.
which
Go
I'm not
on.
going to be able to do in the time we have. But it starts antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, and oxygen, and nitrogen, and rhenium, and I'm not going to sing anymore. Not that was really singing.
The
but I-
downfall there is that they're in alphabetical order.
They're not. They start out with the A's, but
Well,
it goes.
as impressed as I am by your singing, you're out of time. And so if you 70% water, 30% farts, 20% carbon life forms would give me your answers, I would appreciate it.
Was that 110%?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Everybody got to give
that
110%.
looks like a good
Nicole,
answer.
move it over, please. I can't see it. No, to the other way. The other way. There we go. Calcium. We've got calcium, we got magnesium, and calcium. Now, the question is Lea smarter than the rest of you?
Yes.
No, she's not.
I mean,
Calcium. Calcium.
Oh,
She's a
wow.
very
Usually.
smart person. 1% dumber than the rest of you.
Wait,
But-
hold on. If Aaron got to show off a thing, I'm going to show off a thing. This right here, that's a block of magnesium. What do you know? Look at that.
Huh.
It's
Is it
super
really?
light. It's
Yeah?
very light. Yeah. And then if you want this right here, tungsten. This is really heavy. It's about
Yeah.
this. You like wine, right, Aaron? This cube is
obviously.
this
I
cube
mean-
this cube is the same weight as a magnum of wine.
Huh.
It's,
This
very
is
heavy.
the best session of show and tell I've ever seen.
Magnesium.
Leah, what did you bring to class?
Tom Lehrer failed me, so I've got a couple of empty cans of hard seltzer. That's all I have.
You know how I got to the answer of that despite actually not being good at chemistry? I think when I was a kid, I licked limestone and was like, that tastes like lima beans. And they're chalky. So it must be
Really?
calcium.
Right? Really?
And got
You
kicked
never
out of the
licked a
cave of the
rock as a
winds.
child?
No, I just would never think to equate the taste of a rock with
Hey.
a taste of a vegetable. Like you made that connection?
Yeah, it's
One of
both
my-
taste chalky.
One of my friends is a geologist, and you wind up licking a lot of rocks because it's
yes.
it's how you determine rocks are not bones, right?
Mhm.
Like or fossils.
Yep.
Like licking
See, I
it.
was
They're-
just doing it like the pros.
yeah. Fossils taste like chocolate. Give it a shot someday at home.
Let's get off this topic before I have to reveal more about things I licked in my childhood. Derek, what's the next question?
Well, cave lickers, it is Laura Ingalls Wilder, Harriet Tubman, and Gertrude Stein all have namesake craters on what planet?
Sorry, I thought that was an F Mary kill. I was like, what kind of questions are we having tonight? Come on. Because clearly no. So, I mean, there's only a few planets that have craters because there's a number that don't have a substance by which they will crater because they're gases. But here's the question. Are we counting the moon in this one? Is the moon's not a planet, but it's got a lot of craters. Am I right?
It does have a lot of craters.
No, Leah's right.
Yeah.
No. Got it.
What if it's a trick question and it's just like
Probably
this
a trick
one?
question. Yeah. Yep.
Because like I feel like the inhabitants of other planets are not interested in naming their craters after Earth's greatest hits.
What inhabitants are you referring to?
I know something you don't know.
I mean, we know, like, as a person who has written for Geeks Who Drink since 2006, I know that our wheelhouse is trick questions. Like, that's mostly what we do, is that we just try to, really fuck with people.
What are you getting at? So what's your trickster? You're the Curious George of trivia writing, aren't you? Agent of Chaos.
There are no such craters. That's a trick question. False is the answer to that question.
Okay, we do.
I lettered that just now. You see that? We live in a society.
We do occasionally. I have also been a writer for Geeks Who Drink since 2016. And we do ask trick questions, but we don't ask things that can't be answered. So I think that's too far of a stretch, but I don't think that Earth is bananas as an answer.
We are much more troll than trick.
I've heard that about many of you on this panel tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a great question if the answer were Earth, because I mean it's possible.
I mean,
maybe it is.
It's possible.
I like that you've danced around naming planets. Aaron answered like my mom at Jeopardy. So hey, what are your answers? Got Mars, Venus, Venus, Venus. And, if you say Venus 3 times, the Bananarama appears. Let's see. It's Venus! So we've said it 4 times, so they're going away now. But you guys, you were right, except for one of you.
Wait, are the craters on the planets, like, gender-based? Because aren't a bunch of craters on Mars named after, like, male sci-fi writers? Or am I
don't know if
wrong
they
about
all
that?
are, but I think somebody chose those particular women in order to write this question. Because that's what we do at Geeks Who Drink.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We take the joke a little too far sometimes. No, I mean, there was that pseudoscience book, Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus, which is why I think people gender the planets, even though something mythology, something gender is a construct. I don't know, whatever. It was a good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, I think I can't believe
What do you
but
think?
it's only one. Just
What?
one more question.
Yeah, no, you're right. You are
One
correct. You're correct. And I am going to fulfill that one desire right now. The Ocean's Hot Dog is a very scholarly 2008 article about the history of what food stuff.
Ocean's Hot Dog. That sounds terrible. Don't get me one, please.
Not one of the Ocean's 11 movies, but
I would watch that. I would watch. Is this like Goey Duck or something like that?
Is that a food stuff?
Yes. I don't know what else it is besides something that looks like a dong. But I am not interested in this question either. I don't want to think about that as food.
The Ocean's Hot Dog was a really underrated sequel in that franchise.
You mean
The
like
Ocean's-
a spin-off?
The Ocean's
Yeah. George Clooney and Sandra Bullock really worked together to establish a cart.
I thought this was a Limp Bizkit album, to be honest. This is the Ocean's Hot Dog, wasn't it?
Some chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Oh, yeah, it was the sequel to that, wasn't it?
Sorry.
I'm sorry for bringing up Limp Bizkit.
No. Don't never apologize for that. We need to remind humanity what they did.
Okay, now I'm gonna give this a go.
With that.
I'm gonna give this a go. Ocean's hot dog made of a bunch of ground up stuff. I'm thinking I think we're talking about a classic dish of New England area, the lobster roll, right? Because it's kind of like mixed up fish things all together in a bun. I don't know if you put something on it because I'm not interested. And all of that is the trash of the sea. I'm not going to eat it.
Do lobsters live in freshwater or saltwater?
Saltwater.
Langoustines live in freshwater sometimes. They go, I think, between.
I think shrimp look more like a hot dog. You know, those great big prawns.
I think shrimp
How
look
big?
more like a hot dog. Additionally,
big,
they
but-
live apparently in a pineapple under the sea, and you're out of time. So if you would like to share your very scholarly answers with me at this point, I would like that.
I
Better.
second guessed all of
Sea
this.
cucumber, going with the hot dog shape, shrimp lobster, which is my favorite seafood, fish sticks, and fish stick. So let's see who's right and who rules and who drools. It's fish sticks.
Of course it is.
American
done.
children only eat like 4 things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So if you get
If
them
you're
hot
lucky.
dog, not yours, Retka. I'm sure yours eat other things.
And no, they're picky little.
Do they eat fish
They
sticks?
drink a lot of
No,
wine.
no,
and
they hate
sniff a
fish
lot of
sticks. They hate
beer.
fish sticks.
Hot dogs?
Yes. They
Oh, okay.
mostly what they eat is hot dogs, which is please don't call CPA on me.
Look, you're
Yeah.
doing the best you can, okay?
Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
If someone's going to call the
wh-
CPA, they got to call it on the man in the yellow hat because he's letting his little furry child sniff ether.
Did they have jurisdiction over monkey children?
Yeah, like what's the deal? Did he legally adopt little George or Curious George? Like,
Was that British? Were they British, or was it American?
no, I believe that's an American thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think everything was legal in the
Back in the
past.
day. Well, that is actually all the questions we have for this week. And we do actually have one thing for you all to vote on. The winner of the show by popularity. So Derek's going to pop up a poll and you can choose the panelist who you thought did the best job tonight by whatever criteria you want to use. But before then, there is at least one quantifiable measurement available to us. Derek, who scored the highest during the technically incorrect round?
Well, I can tell you for sure that it wasn't Lea.
No.
And weirdly, it wasn't Retka. Pio and Nicole tied with 6. Retka had 5. Leah had 4. So it was a very close
High five,
race.
buddy.
Everybody can hold their head up high. You didn't fail, just some succeeded more.
High fives all the way around.
telling you, I win no matter what.
So much. Well, there you go. You, however, can choose a winner however you like. Either way, we're going to find out who it is right after one more little bitty break. See you in a few. All right. Audience, remember that the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything else we're up to at geekswhodrink.com and or by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. You know how to do it. And without further ado, Derek, who is our popularity contest winner?
That is an excellent question. And oh, there it is. It came up. I was worried that I had lost it, so I was just going to have to make it up. So I was going to say Aaron got 0%, but no, actually Pio got 0%. I feel bad for Pio. Hang on.
I'm not feeling any pain right now. It's fine.
There you go. There's a little touch for that. Leah, you were not the worst. You actually tied for second with 25% of the vote, but the champion of quiz tonight is Aaron with a full 50% of the vote.
And we have a trophy, and here to present it, Jared Leto.
Oh, no! I reject your love.
Yeah.
He voted for you, dude.
Yeah. Aaron Retka, where else can we see you on this here YouTube?
You know, Nicole, you can also see me on this here YouTube on our weekly show, Recently in Stuff, which hits on Fridays at 10 p.m.
At some point in the day on Friday. All right, yeah. Check
Geeks
us
Who
out.
Drink weekly news quiz, and we way overwrite it, and you can tell.
Fridays at noon Eastern. You can watch it so then you can be up with the news. And don't forget, we got content for you every single day. Geeks Who Drink right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching as always. And make sure you come back next week to find out if Aaron is still technically correct.
Technically correct, together forever. Technically correct, not in the weather. Technically correct, birds in the feather, and I got a new obsession. Technically correct with you.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.